Welcome to Champ Talk with Branden Hudson. We are back in action. I'm so excited to have this episode for you guys. It's going to be a real one. It's going to be one that really touches my heart and kind of goes in depth from the person that we have on. But beforehand, I just want to say, guys, if you get value from this episode or you know somebody that will, please share this, send this to them, like, subscribe, give us a review, just whatever platform you're on or all platforms. I don't care. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Apple. We're on Facebook, Instagram. You know, we're fucking doing Champ Talk with smoke signals and shit, okay? So we're here, right? But again, we just want to give out good value content. We want to help people. We want people to take something away from this. You know, we're not worried about being famous or rich or anything like that. I mean, it would be great and it'd be nice. I just believe in helping people. And I know that what we deliver here on this episode, or on these episodes, I should say, does. So again, share this, like this, comment, subscribe to the channel, do all this stuff. Also, this episode is brought to you by Chesapeake Chiropractic. Dr. Michael Liang has been in the business for quite some time. He's been fixing all of our combat sports enthusiasts and local community people's backs, necks, hips, legs, joints, all that good stuff. So check them out, Chesapeake Chiropractor. I think you'll love it. And without further ado, I want to introduce my guest. He's been a part of my journey for a long time. He's been, he still is a part of this journey. You know, I can't get rid of him, but he's been, he's been really impactful on my martial arts career, my, you know, MMA career, my personal training career, my gym career. There's been so much that this guy has delivered and helped me with, and a lot of people don't know that, honestly. A lot of people don't know who the guys and gals were that first started with me because, you know, essentially they work with me or work for me or however you want to frame it for the logistics. But yeah, this guy was helping me out so much in my early days of combat sports, and it's taught me so much. I've learned so much from him. So without further ado, welcome Mr. Donta Finney. Or Donta Finney, however you want to do it.
Dante. Either way.
But yeah, I think it's interesting, man, because you know, people don't realize or don't know, you know, how much I used to chase you around and follow you around when you were up and coming, you know, what, 15 years ago, 12 years ago? How long you been a personal trainer?
14 years.
Okay. Yeah. So my MMA career started around 15 to 16 years ago. Mm-hmm. And I had probably 6 months of training before I came down to Pocomoke Karate and Judo and met you and met Eric and things like that. And at that point, you were not as big and muscular and stuff like that. You were definitely in shape and definitely an athlete, but you had just started mixed martial fitness. You just started your full combat fitness. You just started becoming a personal trainer, and you were the inventor of Pain in the Park around here, which is, you know, needs to come back, desperately needs to come back. I don't know why none of my guys and gals don't want to do this, but you know, you would meet up in the park on Saturdays and up and down in Pocomoke, and you would do the things, the circuit trainings. And what I'm getting at is I used to follow you around. We would train down at Pocomoke like on a Tuesday or Thursday, and then I would come and get up with you on a Saturday. And guys, what I would do is I would chase him around to Pain in the Park, go there. Then we get like a quick bite to eat. Then we go over to the old gym, World Gym, and then I would train with him and you would train me, and never took a paycheck or a piece of paper or any money from me. You know what I mean? Never asked for anything. You were in my corner so many times, and you know, I'm just giving you your flowers right off the jump, and I want people to know how important that is.
All that just make me think of where a lot of people are at right now in 2025, where I was and where we was in 2011, and that's at the bare bones, man. People gotta learn to work with what they got, man. Everybody's trying to find all these tools right now, all these resources right now. Dude, we didn't have nothing. We was training with center blocks in the parking lot. Yep. And that's just a symbolism for, man, we didn't need this big gym to make you a champion. You became a champion without all this. Now all this is gonna help you. I mean, if you got it, it's gonna help you, but how many people got all this in 2025? All the resources, the whole internet, got all of it, not making no progress.
Absolutely.
Because you don't need all that.
Absolutely. You're dropping gems right away. You know, he's going right in right away. So take your mic, put it to the side a little bit so you're talking into it. Just cool. Thank you. I want to make sure you can hear you clear. Yeah. But no, you're 100% right, dude. We did so much with so little. And even the amount of bodies we had back then, we didn't even have too many bodies that we could use to train. very back then MMA in this area was very, at its infancy stage. You know what I mean? We're kind of
MMA was not what it is now.
Not at all.
Even close. There wasn't no Conor McGregor yet.
No, not at all, man. Back then we had Anderson Silva, Frankie Edgar, and George St. Pierre, and of course John Jones. John Moe Jones. But yeah, man, it was interesting that you say that because we just made it happen. Now, where I wanted to go with that, and what I thought was so incredible was, is you were just getting into the personal training business at that point. You were just. Oh, there's so many layers, but you were all over the place, man. You were hustling your ass off. Social media really wasn't even a thing then at that point. I mean, it was, but we weren't really on and hip to it back then. Yeah. And I mean, dude, you were doing so much so quickly. And to be able to sustain and be successful in one element for 14 years, one trade is something to be very proud of in itself. And all the ups and downs and things that you've seen. What did you do in those beginning days, you know what I mean, that you feel are similar to what you do nowadays? Because you're a whole different trainer right now, you know what I mean, my opinion. My opinion, you're a high-performing entrepreneur leader right now because you're just
the evolution's been
gravitating
crazy.
to them.
Just crazy.
But back then, man, when you were trying to hustle up business and things like that, what was it that you were doing to do that?
Yeah, learner mentality, white belt mentality. I was just, that's where I try to be at all the time, man. Just learning from my people, man. Learning from myself first, but ultimately the goal was always to go through the struggle to help other people. And that's just how it started, man. Like the Karate Kids. Every time I walk in that class, it's like, when I was 10, I wanted more people to teach me all this stuff that was out there, but the resource wasn't there. So now I feel like I just want to be that person. I want to be that person for 10-year-old Dante that wanted to learn and soak up all this knowledge. I want to teach people that. You know what I mean? Got it. I want to deliver that knowledge.
Yeah, I mean, you were definitely doing that. I also, if I could chime in on it, I think one of the things that I saw you do, and it kind of goes back to what I was saying about with me, is you were giving out so much for free. Like, dude, you were helping, and you still fucking do it. I watch you at the gym all the time. But, dude, you would help out everybody. Like, everybody, you come up and stop somebody and help them up with a form. You know what I mean? You come up, somebody want to jump in a class, you would let them go. You were about your money and your business, but you were about helping and giving back so much. And I think that was a huge beginning. I think that was a huge part of your success now, was the fact that you were so willing and able to help people and give so much free, now they say free content, but back then that was just free service. I mean, you were just serving people and giving the game away. What was it like when you were working at the Old World Gym? Because that was a pretty cool gym.
It was a great, that's still my favorite.
Yeah.
I mean, honestly, it was great, man. It was cool. I mean, as you say that and think about World Gym, it just amazed me how much people didn't know. I mean, we all stuck in our own bubbles, and I've been in a fitness bubble since I was in like second grade. Ninja Turtles and G.I. Joes, from then on, it was karate and whatever.
Yeah.
So talking to people, man, and one time I had a lady ask me in World Gym, she was like, Dante, is it okay if I eat rice and mashed potatoes in one meal while I'm trying to lose weight? And I'm like, me back then, I was ready to do physical harm. Like, are you serious right
like
now?
That one dude online that walks up to the guy eating these big buff guys, slaps the food and shakes the guy around.
What do you mean?
You were the real life version.
Real life. Like, if you see me back then, you knew. Like, yeah, for real. So, but I think about it all the time, and it's just like, man, the lack of knowledge was crazy. People didn't even know what a carb, but it was still calling it starch.
Yeah.
What's the can of starch? Wow. Which is fine, but it's like, you understand the mentality. So
no one says that now.
Yeah, nobody says that. Nobody, can I get a starch?
You got some starches?
So now it's just like, so back then it was cool, man. It was cool. I felt like I just wanted to teach people, man. People were right there on the edge of things, like just one angle away from doing it right.
Yeah.
One meal away, one mindset away.
Excuse me.
You good? Like one mindset away from just doing it right? And when you see those little things in people, you just deliver. I did give away a lot that I could have charged for, but at the same time, in my mind, it was just this one little thing they needed. You know what I mean? And then now it's been built to a network. Now I know I can go here, I can go there, I can pick up and move to Florida in 6 months.
Yeah.
and build a brand new business.
Well, I wanted to talk about that too, because that's something you did do. You know, you picked up the family, you rolled out, you went to Florida, and where was he at? Were you at Destin?
Wellington.
Wellington, excuse me.
Yep.
You're in Wellington, Florida, which is not too far from Palm Beach, correct?
West Palm Beach, right there. Yep.
And yeah, man. I mean, dude, I thought that was like the craziest shit you ever did. First of all, I was sad, but second of all, I was like, what the fuck, man? Like, you were just, I mean, you had a very, your business was starting to take off here.
Yeah.
You know, you had a good foundation of people, of clients. You had a hell of a name. This is when you passed off Pain in the Park to me, right? And which, you know, for the people out there, not to deviate and switch gears, but the people out there like, dude, Pain in the Park was something that was crazy when you think about what that did for your reputation, your business. We would go and here's one thing I want to preface. I know I'm doing the weave.
Good. I'm with you. I'm weaving with you.
90% of the shit that I've learned and done and do and still to this day came from you, Pain in the Park, Pocomoke, all those drills and all those stuff, you know, over at Twin Impact with Trevor. So it's not like anybody was reinventing the wheel here. But the thing that was great about Pain in the Park was, you know, for $10 you come in and work out for an hour and a half, right? So what that did is we're kicking game right now. Now you're getting massive amount of leads of people coming in. You're making a quick $200, you know what I mean? You're having fun. You're getting started early in the morning. You're being seen in the park, regardless if they're coming and working out or not. And then what happens? All of the conversations, all of the people that sign up and participate, all the people now they're all of a sudden they all morphed over and became our clients because that's where it started. It was a great lead generation, great lead magnet. You know, where like you said in the beginning, people are running around with this camera trying to figure out all this fancy shit, do all the extra shit. Like, bro, go get your ass to work and take action and go set up a circuit training downtown.
Circuit training,
have
take
fun,
200
run
pictures
them hills,
and roll with it.
run them hills, do this shit, play tug of
Unedited
war.
pictures.
Oh my gosh, brother.
Yeah.
But you passed that off to me when you were going to Florida, and you knew somebody down there, and they said that what you could do, but dude, you went down there and figured it out. Like it was rough. It was tough in the beginning.
Oh, it was super rough, but I didn't really have to figure it out. I already did it.
Yeah.
It was Pain in the Park. What I did in Florida, I went to Okehele Park. I brought my ropes. I brought my dog. I brought the agility ladder. I posted up about 12 feet away from the bathroom, and I whipped my ropes. Can I try? You sure can. Phone number. Can I try? Sure can. Facebook. Can I try? Sure can. You want friend want to try too? Hey, come on. Whoop.
Yeah,
Boom.
and that's it.
That was it. Next thing I know, I'm in the country club.
Wow.
Next thing I know, I'm 20 minutes away from Tiger Woods' home. You know what I mean? Like, and it was the same principle, dog. Okehele Park, battle ropes, agility ladder, and my dog.
So, man, I'm gonna do this. I was gonna wait a little bit, but I'm gonna do this right now. Personally, and there's a correlation why I'm bringing this up now because I think that's so incredible. And we always view ourselves differently than others view us, right? We're always looking at the things that are wrong and things that we're not doing correctly. A lot of people do not know this, and they will now because I'm gonna tell it, that you have struggled with depression for a long time.
Yeah, entire adulthood.
A long time, yeah. And you still have, it's always in the corner. It's always in the closet, ready to come back out, right? Yeah. But when you hear you doing things like that, right? And some people that might not be nothing to, but from us, trapped here on the Eastern Shore and being shore billies, and you were even isolated worse than I was. You were in like Snow Hill, Pocomoke. That was like the end of the earth. Yeah. For you to be able to go to West Palm Beach, Wellington, Florida, go down there, with depression, with anxiety, with these things that you've always had to struggle with, and go out there and just say, hey, here are my ropes. You want to jump in? And I watch you work a room like it's a magician, dude, at work. Like you go around this room, and our Coach P is the same way. That motherfucker can work a room like no other. You two guys are incredible at that. I just think it's worth noting and pointing out, like you did all that while you were raising a family, you know what I mean? Taking care of, no income, just figuring it out, going down there, and then going up there and believing in yourself and your craft and doing the same thing you did here, taking it down there, without, I'm sure there was a lot of self-talk that like, am I good enough? Can I do this?
I had to call you one time. So you know what? As you say all that, man, I kind of get off on the fact that I know everybody. I know a lot of people have anxiety, depression, and you said, "Oh, it's probably nothing that you did that." You know, oh, it's something. People are afraid to talk.
Yeah, I know
To a new person, to a stranger.
Yeah.
I know people are afraid of that, and the fact that I know they're afraid, I know that shock value alone will be enough. I don't even have to figure it out after that. I know just for the simple fact somebody spoke to them with a genuine hello is enough to spark a conversation. Because nobody else is going to do it.
So what you're saying to me is, and saying to our listeners, is that because you're willing to go first and just speak to a stranger, speak to somebody else with a intention of not getting something from them, but just opening the door. Hey, what are you doing over there? I like that. Where you been at? That's cool. Have you ever thought about this?
Yeah.
That's been able to overcome not just depression, anxiety, but overcome business, just overcome so many things for you.
Yeah, because I can sit there and think about it, forever. I'll tell this story real quick. I just told one of my clients, the first day I went to the interview for World Gym, I was so depressed. I couldn't envision the interview, the drive there. I had to sit there for 2 to 3 hours and think about taking the first step on my step out the door.
Wow.
I had to visualize that to just get into this World Gym and make pain and depart, all this crazy stuff we talk about.
Yeah.
That started with 2 to 3 hours in a room, in a chair, thinking about taking the first step on the step.
Wow.
That's where it started.
I never knew that.
A lot of people don't.
And I think that's why I wanted to bring this up. And I don't like to gotcha my guests and stuff like that, but I do a little bit because I see so much of the rawness in that. You know what I mean? I mean, we can go all the way back as, far, and you can decide if you want to talk about this or not, with your parents and how that, all came about, you know what I mean, in that story. Because the more, which oddly enough, I didn't fucking find out until like 5 years or 2 years ago, 3 years ago, we're training together. It's just, it's so remarkable, Dante. Don't take this the wrong way, but you got the biggest little man syndrome I've ever seen in my life because you don't give a fuck. You know what I mean? And I say this in a compliment, I promise you. But like to be able to just overcome so many personal, like not getting out of the fucking, sitting in a room and not getting out of taking the first step, because none of us see that, brother. We all see this like strong leader. I mean,
bodybuilder.
I still bodybuilder, athlete. I still think that you still to this day teach the best class that we have here or anybody else, and that's coming from. And I like to think that I teach the best class, but I can't take credit because it's all regurgitated stuff that you've done. Coach P does a great class, all regurgitated stuff that I've done, but it's just so crazy and remarkable that you have, you've had so many challenges that you personally overcame and still fight. And you and the guy we see, like we're so impressed. We're so impressed by that. And I'm not trying to like really pump you up. It's just
no, I get it, man, and I appreciate it honestly. And I've been hearing it a lot lately. My oldest son, who we're extremely close, but don't talk a lot. If that makes sense. Even he texted me out of nowhere one day, a month ago. Dad, appreciate you and proud of you for everything you've done for working for yourself for this long. People are crazy out here. He just said that as a 20, but the meaning behind that was crazy. Here's the crazy part. 3 days later, Dion said the same thing. He came home from work from Arby's and was like, Dad, I can't believe what you've done the past 10 years. And I'm like, yeah, it's crazy. Now you know.
Damn, dude, that yesterday was Father's Day, so that kind of
it just hit, and that just happened a month ago. Happy Father's Day. Yeah,
that hits a little bit hard, man, because it's so impressive, man. Like people don't understand in personal training, you know what I mean, in the fitness world. Here's what they don't get, and I'm glad you can vouch for this. They don't understand, one, how to keep your pipeline filled, right? So they'll start off hot. Now let's back up. We're talking about independent contractors. Yes. We're not talking about like your club trainer where like they're getting fed clients from the club and they have a different kind of deal worked out. We're talking about, hey, look, I'm going to pay this much money to rent this gym, and I'm going to rent this space or this room, and I'm going to do me. And you've always done that. And I've always done that because that's, to me, I want to be in control of my money because I know what I'm capable of doing. But they don't understand the pipeline side of it, right? Where you'll go and you'll be fresh out on a nice 3-4 month run where in our case, we might have 20, 25 clients, right? I don't do personal training anymore. I got, just a couple ladies that I just still rock with, but to me, I just don't have the time anymore. But I made 6 figures multiple years over at the other gym where we started, writing down shit from you, hustling, grinding. But they don't understand, like 3 months, I'll have 25 clients. And then within a month, 5 of them clients drop off. That's a significant hit to your income, right? Yeah. They don't grasp that. And then they go up, down, and they finally fall, a lot of people, because they don't get like, hey, I got to keep marketing. Yes. I got to keep talking to people. I got to keep doing doing the free shit and giving that stuff away. I got to keep doing the pain in the parts and the MMA fitness and the MMA conditioning classes and all the things that we kept doing to keep our pipeline. Yeah. And not just that. That didn't just keep our pipeline filled. That kept our sword sharp. Yeah. That kept our sword sharp. Always. Because and I'll ask you this, what do you think the benefits of teaching group classes and group things are for a personal trainer out there that wants to, really grasp time management and things like that and how to keep it going? What do you think the benefits are from that? Yeah. I know you do. Yeah, the big benefits for the coach doing group training is being able to see the multiple mistakes, maneuvers, the way people are moving all at the same time. And it's almost the more the merrier at first. It might be overwhelming, but then you're looking at 10 people and you're seeing all this from a different point of view. You're seeing all this. Then as you condense it down, maybe you'll get a 2-person session. Now you know exactly what to go for. Now we can spend 40 minutes on this thing that I just saw, but I had to move on because there's so many people. But when you're with just 2 people, maybe you don't see as much. You don't learn how to maneuver the room as well. You don't learn how to communicate to the back of the room, which is just as important as the front. And even when you're talking to one person, you're talking to the whole being. Some people just talk right to the surface of somebody. You got to talk to the whole person. And group training helps you with that because you can embody and capture 20 people. Capturing 2 ain't nothing. I never really thought about that because my class would be packed. You know what I mean? My largest class was like 43 people one time. Over at the other gym. I had 43 people in the class one night, gunning it, right? All fucking, I ain't prepared nothing. All it was on the fly. I had a vision and direction, but I never prepared. But I never thought about that because now you're looking at, because 2 people, 3 people, 5 people, well, I might get distracted with just your conversation. Yeah. 4 other people are grinding and doing their thing, but we got caught up in some shit. Just me. Some talk, and next thing you know, or your form or your PR, and I'm neglecting to pay attention to the other people. And it happens across the board. Don't act like you're better than anybody out there, trainers. But I never thought about that, seeing a group out in fitness. Now you can you're really looking at 20 people as one. Because now you're comparing, and it's the same when you're teaching martial arts too. Yeah, they're all supposed to doing the same movement, but I'm seeing 20 different versions of just one movement. So now I get to break it down that way. And dude, that was the reason why I had to tell Nick from here at Pure Fitness when he was mad at me, because when I came home and started the gym, he was like, why didn't you come call me? Well, that right there, I needed to experience that. I needed to experience the raw learning of what it looked like to be a good personal trainer with a good vibe, good energy, mindful, aware, paying attention to the details before I wanted to go into this multi-million-dollar fitness club where, you got this thing ran like a well-oiled machine, right? No. I need to do me. Yeah. And I'm forever grateful of those things that you've taught me. Speaking of your son, I mean, Jesus, Dion, bro. Yeah. Can we brag on him for a minute? Let's do it, man. Can you just, just tell him the accolades, man? I want to back up before you do this, right? When you guys moved to Florida, Dion was very small, but you guys lived right outside the east side, right? And Dion was starting to hang out with kids that wanted to hang out past the streetlights, when they came on. Yeah. And you saw that. And you moved to Florida, and he didn't like that, but then he just really started catching his wave. And after about 2-3 years, you guys decided to move back, right? When I saw that kid was in pain. He was in obvious pain. And, he was also going through his teenage years. And Florida was hard. It was. Like, just living there, like school from his age point of view. The school, not to diss anybody, but like school there is like here where it's here. You know what I mean? Like, it's the capacity of work and
And there ain't no attitude there. You got to come in with the smile. Like, they don't accept that, walking in with that. They don't, from the door, he had to be all right. Wasn't that way down here.
Right.
So when he went there, that was a lot of stress. That was a lot of expectation.
Yeah.
Then coincidentally enough, it grew him. Then when we moved back here, it was like, it's kind of easy.
Well, I'm bringing that up because I personally took him under my wing because he was coming up here, and the first thing he was doing was he was getting in the ring, and he was fighting his pain away. And almost every night he had a bloody nose. And it was different than how we were training because he was going in there, and he was trying to fight his pain away, right? And I saw that from because I don't miss nothing in my house. I don't miss a damn thing. I saw that, and I know that, you know what I mean, you've been always there for me, and I'm not getting flowers. I got to point to this. And I know that you were out here trying to get, you know, your name back together, get your clients back together. You would just move back. You're shooking a jive. You're making things happen. And I saw that, man, and it scared the shit out of me because I knew that pain. I knew what that pain was. That wasn't what we normally go through. That was, I'm escaping. Yeah. I'm trying to escape what.
He was a very fearful little kid. People don't even get it. Like, he was scared of a lot. Yeah. You couldn't even like cover him up like this about him freaking out of like claustrophobic type of stuff. Like,
well, when he came back, he was definitely not fearful of anything. He just wanted to hurt.
Yeah, and he got past that part.
And dude, it was, I had many talks with him. We pushed him. It was a combination of everybody. It wasn't me. It was just everybody saw what we saw, and we pushed him. And I mean, dude, where this kid turned himself around with many, many people, and obviously you're the most highest creditable, you and his mother. I mean, dude, what was his GPA this year when he graduated?
He had a 4.0. It was like 4.2 weighted or
4.2 GPA. You know what I mean? Wrestled, took what, fourth in states? I can't remember.
He didn't.
You said
he
went to states. I'm messing all up.
No, he's cool. Yeah, he went to states twice.
Wrestling.
Wrestling. His senior year, he didn't finish at states, but it was the greatest lesson ever because we went on to see the best college wrestler ever actually lose his final match the week after Dion lost his match. And there was more life lessons for Dion. Yeah. More life lessons for Dion, man. The stars aligned for him. But yeah, from the beginning when he got here to grow into what he is now, he just always wanted more, man. Mm-hmm. He just he had that soul, but most people like turn 28 and they're like, I'm destined for more. This fool was 8. Yeah. God, he was 8. Yeah. He already, he trying to lift more, fight more, run more, throw more, learn more.
And he's been in martial arts since 3, correct?
Yeah, I mean.
Technically.
Technically, he was deadlifting at like 4. I found a picture. I mean, you know what I mean? So like.
And he got his black belt last year.
Yeah. He really wanted that.
He's wrestling, he's lifting weights, he's working. Anyone that talks about Dion around this gym just talks about how much of a remarkable human being and kid leader he is and stuff like that. And now he's, off the college for right now. He wants to do what? Just
pharmacy. He's going to pharmacy school and minoring in golf.
Crazy, man. It's crazy.
Just insane. Thirst for learning.
And why I brought that up is you can only attribute that to the example that you guys have set, that you guys have led. You know what I mean? Especially you being his father and as a male role model. And you know what I mean? You just, when they called you and said, Dad, I can't believe you did this. And then when they say all that stuff, that's just only because of the example. Not many kids will understand that had they not been in the trenches sitting next to you, looking at that, watching that, experiencing that, going through that, trying it themselves, shaking the dice and trying to see how they roll and finding out, it ain't as easy as, we don't hit 7-11 every time we go out the bat. And it's just incredible, man. You've done such a great job. He's a black belt here. He teaches here. He's awesome kid. Everything about him is just like so amazing.
And for parents, man, don't, I never tried to dump all my problems on them, but I didn't hide them. Yeah. Like, dude, this is what it's going to feel like. Not what it looked like, not what happened. This is what it's going to feel like. So be ready.
You think there's a difference between, raising men and raising, a daughter? Because you got a small daughter now, too. And I got the opposite.
Yeah. No, it's a huge difference.
Yeah, I got the opposite. I got the 3 daughters, and now I got a small son.
I had the 2 boys, and now I got the little girl in this new world. That's a huge difference, man.
Yeah, I think that men and boys need to know the truth more so. Girls need to know it as well, but we're going to protect them more from the
Yeah.
from the darks and the evils and the the
Yeah.
bad things of life. But boys, you know what I mean? I think they need to sit there and they need to be in.
Yeah. Paramount is, you know, male, female, lizard or a frog, you got to know yourself. But I think just in this moment, I'm thinking like my daughter, I want her focused on learning herself, how to control herself. My sons, I got to teach them about the world. I got to show them what's out there because they got to stand in front of somebody one day. They're going to be the first line of defense for somebody.
And where'd you learn that from?
My dad, karate,
Yeah,
ROTC. Don't get me started, yo. All that, man.
we need to know it.
All that, man. All that.
Yeah, I think it was pretty cool because you know your parents aren't your birth parents.
Yeah. Yeah. So I'm adopted. And this is a crazy story. So I'm adopted, and we'll fast forward and skip a few things. I always felt a little out of place, like there was more, just something missing. And then I'm a big into psychiatry, neuroscience. Realize I have abandonment issues. No problem. Most people do. I'm adopted. Of course I have abandonment issues. Duh. Didn't have to read a book for that, but I did. Fast forward a little bit more. Come to reveal that, this will be the first time this out here like this, but I was actually found in an abandoned building. I found this out the same time as COVID was happening. As I was learning about babies being born and not being touched by their mothers when they're being born for days on end, and how traumatic that's going to be in the future. And I'm already seeing it. And not just mental health, physical health, gut health. A lot of this gut health is through physical touch, and we'll get there later. But seeing the COVID kids and learning about what they may experience because they weren't touched and held and stuff, and then come to find out, oh, you weren't touched and held at first either. 18 million light bulbs went off, bro. Everything I've always felt, and this is the crazy part, people, pay attention. It's from an experience I don't even remember. Everybody's worried about traumatic from the experience they remember. You need to start digging into the stuff you don't remember.
The suppressed stuff, because it's in there. I ain't gonna say I'm Cat Williams. I remember people talking to me in the womb. Right.
That boy crazy. I ain't gonna say that happened.
Shout out to Cat. Give me a call
Shout
if you
out
want to be on the show.
You can hop on because I love to talk to you. I ain't gonna say that happened, but I think you can tune back. I think you can put some pieces together, talk to people, be real about what happened. Every time you think of a memory, you change it. So be aware. But at the same time, start digging back a little bit because I was haunted or affected by something I didn't even know happened.
That's incredible, dude. That's. I knew the story, and I'm finding myself getting emotional here just listening to it, and I'm going to tell you why. Not that I feel sorry for you, or dude, I'm just so fucking impressed by you, man. And when I asked you, I set you up, and you hit it out the park. Where did that come from? That leadership as a man and a role model, and producing these young men, and so many people responsible for you. It's just so awesome to hear that. The way you articulated it, because so many people make so much excuses, dude. So many people have so many excuses why they can't be great. And they think that greatness is climbing to the top of the mountain, sticking your flag at the top and shouting from the top of the mountain that I'm great and I accomplished this. I'm a champion. I'm a multimillionaire. I'm this, I'm that. And it's not. It comes down to the fucking bare minimals, the baseline, simplistic. Be a good human, find out and learn yourself, set the example, and fucking grow as the white belt mentality in everything that you do, dude. It's so many, bro. This is probably one of the most impactful shows I've ever done, and it's so crazy.
That was the plan.
Well, it was, but man, you never know, and you just knocked it out of the park. And I think it's so incredible, man. I'm just so fucking touched and impressed by that.
Can I rewind to something
Sure,
real
please.
quick?
Yeah.
As you say, a lot of people are responsible for me or who I am. I was actually very conscious of you and the community taking Dion over when I got here. And unlike, I won't say that, unlike some dads that have been up here, I was very happy to see it. As soon as I saw him gravitating to the gym, I was like, good.
Yeah.
I mean, he can't learn everything from me.
No.
I can't do it. I could give him the whole book and spell it letter by letter, but he need to hear it from various people, the community, grows people, You know this. You the most community person I know. And I mean that, like, moving all over the place. You win. And for a good reason.
Thank you.
And because it wins. Because community wins.
Takes a village, man.
And so I just want to say, yeah, I was very mindful of that and watched all that unfold, appreciate it, and it was needed. And that's what everybody needs. That's why we're here.
And it's crazy you said, thank you so much. I received that. It's crazy you say that because, man, buckle up. Because who knows what this world's going to have when Dion really gets his stride and Trinity gets her stride and all of our kids get their strides and all the kids we affect, whether it be in karate, whether it be in jiu-jitsu, any combat sports we do, any fitness world, it's just, man, buckle up, man, because it started from, oh, man, this is a good one, man. It just started from like nothing. See how we tied this? It started from bare essentials that just came full circle. You can only have this happen, Gimp, one every now and then where the episode comes full circle, and you said it from the fucking beginning. Everybody wants all this fancy shit and all this special shit and all the extra shit. It comes from bare nothing, bare bones. The very baseline things of life is what will bring you success if you just hone in on it and lock in. Let's switch gears, man. Gosh, it's a good one, man. It's a good one. You talked about gut health, and you stopped me about that. I think it would be irresponsible for us to not talk about health and talk about the importance of it. Now, I know that, we're not necessarily doctors or scientists or all that, but I think
way over that.
14 years in the business.
I'm way over that, bro.
14 years in the business, and that's just being in the business. You've been in the fitness world for over 25. You've been in martial arts for over 25. You've been powerlifting and doing all the things. Let's peel back a couple of things. One, you have a physique that is amazing at, 43 years old?
42.
42 years old, right? Amazing physique, right? You work very hard for it. So, and unlike you, I look at a donut and gain weight. You lose weight if you eat a donut.
That's crazy.
But you understand the importance of, I never see never hear you're injured. You fought all the time. You fought for 20 years of your life. You're never injured. You're rarely sick. Most of the time, and this is only because you're human, most of the time your mental focus is always on point. You know what I mean? Your rest and recovery is very dialed in. Your nutrition is dialed in. I mean, you have the fitness example in all areas. I want to know, want our people to hear a couple of tips and not the bullshit generic tips everybody says, consistency and all that. I want to know a couple of tips on what's your secret to that. And then I want you to go a little bit further into this gut health stuff that you're learning and you've been talking about for years that you're just now seeing come to light. Elaborate on that for me, please.
Yeah. Let's start with, I'm going to toot my own horn real quick.
Please do.
I've been predicting a lot of stuff for 12 years.
I agree to that. I agree to that.
A lot of in the health field, guys.
Yes, sir.
On the health front, purely on the health front. I feel like a lot of my knowledge I knew back in the day wasn't ready for the time yet, bro. I really feel that way. I feel like right now, the information I have and what I can teach is matching up with what is going on. So let's start there. 2, it's a total health thing. People tend to focus on one thing. You need a tip. You need a real tip. And I just put this on my Facebook. Be obsessed. Stop tiptoeing, man. Stop tiptoeing. You can be obsessed over the Popeye chicken sandwich. They breaking records, making money off you getting fat.
Yep.
You can be obsessed with the Netflix show Wednesday. Love it and gorge your life. You wake up the next day, every meme you look at is about Wednesday. You drawing Wednesday pictures, but you can't do that with your fitness and your health? That's crazy. Wake up and flick through some health stuff. Watch some YouTube. Get inspired. Like, dive in.
Are you, not to cut you off, you saying when you buy that yellow truck, now all of a sudden you see that yellow truck everywhere you look?
Yeah.
Same concept, right?
Yes.
So if you're obsessed about chicken, obsessed about Wednesday, obsessed about all these other things, if you become obsessed about your fitness goals and your body in a positive, conducive way, then you can have the better results and understanding better to do things. Proceed. I just wanted to clear that up.
No, that's great.
That's gold right there.
Yeah, and that leads into this is the deepest part of the conversation, and I might not make it deep, but detachment. This is the biggest thing I'm teaching people right now. I just started teaching this 2 months ago, right now. Detachment. It means a lot to a lot of people. It started with me in my personal life, but this is how it pertains to fitness, guys. I had a client, my first client to ever lose 30 pounds. The only thing I changed with her was to tell her to do not track your food. She was eating good, tracking her food good, sleeping good, working out good. But she was stressed every time she wrote it down. She was stressed after every workout. Did it work? Did it work? Did I do the right thing? How many calories did I burn? Did I? Then I told her, don't write your food down. She lost 30 pounds. Now, I contributed that to hormonal things because obviously if you're stressing out every time before you eat or after every workout or after every meal, you're not going to digest your food properly because of hormonal reasons. You're going to store fat, cortisol, etc. So I'm thinking, yeah, this lady didn't write her things down and now the hormones are more balanced and she did better. Nah, bro, that was mental frequency. She needed to get detached from the outcome like you've told me to do for 15 years. Brandon has told me to do this for over a decade, guys, so it ain't new. Detach. And
that's so funny, man, because I forget all about that shit.
I listen to you too. Just put her in a different frequency. I'm in tune with the frequency of health, man. I know what does that mean? I know what mindset it takes to recover my muscles. I know I need to be slightly down. I know in the gym I can't be slightly down. I gotta be slightly up if I'm gonna swell these muscles up. I know the frequency to be in. And when you're in a frequency of, did I do it right? Did I do it right? Did I do it right? Did I do it right?
You're in a deficit.
You're gonna kill it. In a relationship, you did I do it right? Did I do it right? Did I do it right? You're gonna kill it.
This is martial arts 101, isn't it?
This is all martial arts. There ain't a daggone thing we talked about today that ain't come from karate.
That's crazy. It's crazy. It's really truly because you have all the, and we can go down a rabbit hole of the goofballs out there that are exploiting people for martial arts, or we can talk about the real benefits. And this is just what I'm hearing. What about the gut health part? Yeah, because that's something that you had mentioned to me, and that's something that I particularly think is something wrong with me. And we talked about this. I got this belly, and it makes no sense. Will I eat about 4 or 5 cookies when mama makes them? 100%, right? Do I drink alcohol? You know what I mean? Not every weekend, but some weekends. Sometimes I go without it. You know what I mean? But do I drink excessively? No. You know what I mean? I drink with it at times. But I eat fucking clean. I train consistently. I'm all in. I do need to work on my rest and recovery. I do need to work on other things, but it makes no sense why I got the results that I got, but I have this gut. And the new thing for me is maybe I have a leaky gut. Maybe I have something going on. Maybe I have a parasite, which is probably true because I literally eat off the floor. What? Sorry. But I'm a dirty motherfucker, right? So, but it doesn't just go with the belly. With gut health, and that's what somebody like myself thinks. First of all, how do I get this belly fat? There's so much more to it. Talk about that, man.
Man, this is perfect. Y'all ready for Brandon's live coaching session? Here we go.
I done fucked up now.
For 6 years, I made a joke. I'm gonna go, okay, we're just gonna put it out there. We're on Champ Talk, right?
Yeah, man. Yeah.
Okay.
Go ahead.
6 years ago, I would always joke, man. I ain't met a white lady over 35 without a gut problem. Right. And it was a joke when I was in Florida. It was just a joke. It was just what I saw in my clients. It's just what I visually saw. 6 years later, scroll through your Instagram now. Let this play. Your phone's listening. It's going to show up on your Instagram. They are strongly linking females, and I'll talk about the males too. They are strongly linking female gut health to emotional suppression. If you heard me just say that and it resonated for 2 seconds, it's probably you. People's gut health and the deterioration of their gut health is linked to emotional suppression. We all understand the second brain is in our gut. All right, we won't dive too much into that. Google it. It's easy to find out.
Can that, I'm sorry to cut you off, but can that have correlation to like why people eat, emotionally eat?
Yeah. Oh yeah. You're you have a good brain and a bad brain. You got this, do this good thing, do this bad thing. Your gut's telling you the same thing. There's trillions of bacteria telling you to eat something bad, and there's trillions of bacteria telling you to eat something good. And somebody gonna win that day.
Okay, I didn't mean to get you off topic. So you said,
that was great,
but I want to keep you on topic. So you said for 6 years you saw that about 35-year-old white ladies. And now you're starting to see things more of that.
Yeah, more of that. And I'm not just seeing it's now popping up in the studies.
Correct. Excuse me.
It's popping up in the studies now. And how did it start? There was these multitude of doctors who noticed, they run you through the standard checklist. Do you smoke? Did you have sex in the past 3 days? Whatever, right? And then notice every single person that had a gut problem was depressed or stressed or anxiety. And then you start to cure that. You start to dig into their mental a little bit, gut problem starts to go away. I'm at the point now, I don't even believe in celiac disease, but I don't know if I should say that, but we'll get there later. There's a lot going on with what in the food and our emotions are suppressed. Let's move on to the men real quick, because this is the new part. I believe a lot of emotional suppression in men is leading to identity crisis. And I don't know this from talking to men. I know this from talking to women.
Of course.
Because the women are telling me, these men don't know what they want. They want me to be this person. They want me to be this person. They want me to be this person. All I could think is that's who they supposed to be.
I could just hear the reels being made right now. Dropping gems today, brother.
But they so suppressed, bro. They don't even know who they are. And then they body hurt. My shoulder hurt. My bicep tear. We all know the dudes that get hurt all the time. Those same dudes is probably not the mentally strongest either, huh?
Bro, I just had 3 people in my mind.
I'm just saying.
That you just said.
Now, the mentally strong ones, they get hurt. You get hurt too, but it's obviously physical exertion.
Right.
It's not just this chronic, I don't know.
Well, the chronic stuff that I have had, I've attacked.
Yeah,
And I went after.
You know the root.
You actually fixed my back, for the record. Remember when I came to you, I was like at the point where I was just like, dude, I need you to help me right now. And you actually fixed my lower back for me by obviously making me weight train and making me do some things that were very difficult and opening up the hips and things like that. And I've not had lower back issues since.
That's crazy how many times I hear that.
Since, brother. Now, I've got some other things going on with myself, but again, I'm downstairs with Rob and POA and I'm doing all these other things. But it's really, really crazy you said that, because I think about a couple of people to mind that I know and I care about that are always hurt, that aren't necessarily the strongest don't have the strongest mentality. They're not weak. I'm not trying to devalue them by any means.
Neither am I.
It's
not
just
at all, man.
they struggle in the identity. They struggle in the confidence. They struggle in a lot of areas, and they're always injured.
I've asked ladies for 3 or 4 years now, if your gut's hurting, are you stressed? What's going on there? And then when you get stressed, do you feel it in the pit of your gut? Most of the time they tell me yes.
Now, me hearing this, and I know I'm not the only one, I'm hearing this, I can eat anything. I don't ever get an upset stomach. I don't ever get anything wrong with me. That doesn't necessarily mean I don't have any gut issues, correct?
Correct.
So don't think that just because you can eat and digest things and you can handle things that you don't have gut. We're not talking about your digestive tract. We're talking about your gut health specifically.
I compare it to sleep. See, everybody, you look around right now in the room you're in, most of those people are sleepy, but they accept it. If you ask them how they felt, they wouldn't even say sleepy. That might be the 5th thing they say, but they're actually just sleepy.
Yeah.
And you know how you know that's the issue? Get a good night's sleep. You wake up the next day like, oh, this is how I'm supposed to feel.
Right.
Gut health is the same way, guys. I had a lady in Florida, black beans in Florida, in South Florida. That's just what it is. So she ate black beans all the time. She couldn't figure out what was wrong. A little bit here and there, but nothing serious. She thought it was milk, this, that, and the third. Cut the black beans out for 5 days. She said, Dante, I had no clue I was allergic to black beans. I feel so good now. Wow. Incredibly good.
What's your thought on cheese? Because I eat a lot of fucking cheese. And I know
this is great. We talk about the evolution of training. I'm going to stray off a little bit to come back, but we talk about the evolution of training. The first thing I got people off of was cheese. Then it was sugar.
No, I'm not ready.
It was cheese, then sugar, then no bread, no pasta for 5 days. These are different protocols that have been the little teeny protocols that really actually worked. The problem, all right, number 1, cheese. It's a poop ton of calories in that little teeny piece. It's a lot of energy you got to burn off in a little teeny piece.
Okay.
2, the cows that we use are not essentially the cows that produce the milk that is best for us. Right. There are cows that produce milk that people that are lactose intolerant can drink. There's different degrees of everything. Nuts, milk, meat, there's different degrees of everything. So the problem with the cheese is not necessarily the cheese, it's the cow it came from and how it was treated.
Like the mass-produced dairy
Yeah,
farms
all that
and all
stuff.
that stuff.
Now,
yeah.
you can get deeper into it, and for the most part, it's not good for people, man. I mean, a lot of my women, their skin break out.
Mm,
You know, it's just our bodies just don't accept modern day milk.
got it. We're running out of time, man.
Yeah.
So we're definitely going to have you back on
I got
very
to.
soon, man, because I think we're just scratching the surface. But real quick, where can I get my gut health looked at? Like, what I've asked a couple of doctors, and they looked at me like I was a deer in the headlights. Where do you go to get the testing? What do you do? What do you recommend?
This is, I'm glad you said this. It's very hard here. If we were in Florida, I could point you somewhere very fast, or Texas. But luckily for us, and I'll say her name, Lana Scher, she is a part of UMES pharmacy department. She is now bringing in some gut health testing and products that I cannot wait to put my clients on this summer. She actually just received her packets a few weeks ago that she's testing out. Obviously, we're going to test it first before we deliver it to anyone. But once that is put in place by the end of this summer, there will be a place for you right here in this area to get tested and get the proper supplements you need to fix. What can you do from now until then? Elimination diet. Pick one thing, don't eat it for 5 to 10 days, and then eat it. If it makes you feel irritable, then you know it's a problem. If you reintroduce it after 5 to 10 days and it doesn't hurt you, it's probably okay. Move on to another item.
That's good. That's gold. Let me know when that test comes. Let
Yes,
me be
sir.
the
I
first
can't wait.
motherfucker to know.
I got you, bro.
Also, that was some gems. All right, wrap it up. I'm gonna ask you a real quick question. I know we're over time, but I think we got a couple more minutes. I always ask everyone this: is all this worth it, man? Is all of the ups and downs in your income, ups and downs in your clients, ups and downs with your personal stuff, ups and downs, all the just constant pushing, chasing the hour, chasing the pipeline, all that, man. For what you've done, is it worth it?
100,000, 10 million%. And I felt that in my gut as you were saying it to my gut health. Yeah, man.
Why?
Because we all got to get better, man. We can't stay here, bro. We can't stay here. We all got to get better. We had to get better in 1999. We had to get better in 2009. We got to get better in 2025, man. I ain't going to have no other way. We just got to get better.
Dante, man, I love you, dude.
You the man, B.
I'm from the bottom of my heart, man. Like, I'm so proud to know you and thankful. You've changed my life. You have literally been the reason, a huge reason, you and Eric, of why I'm here today in the fitness world, owning a gym.
Yes, sir.
As a champion, as an MMA, as an impact influence, influencing people, all of the above, dude. It's because of you, and I'm still learning from you every day. I'm very proud to know you, and you need to be speaking on stages, because what you just dropped today, people need to call and hire you to come and talk to their organizations, and you need to write a book, and you need to do so many things because you have it, man. And I remember a time where you were ready to back out of the fitness industry. And I think if you backed out of the fitness industry at this point, you would be doing the world a disservice, man, because what you bring to the table in so many elements, man. And me personally, I can say, dude, like, I'm so grateful of you. And if I haven't told you, I'm telling you today, man, like, dude, you fucking changed my life, man. You were there on all of those losses, all of those wins. You gave me so many fucking gems and things to help me become who I am today. And this episode would not be possible without you. And I just wanted to say thank you, man. I appreciate you. Where can we find you? If anybody wanted to talk to you, hire you, you do online coaching and everything, where can we find you?
Yeah, man. Mostly on Facebook, man. Donta Finney or Full Contact for Fun. We launched some new websites, but that's just a click of a link, man. Find me on my social media, Facebook, Instagram. Those are the main places I tend to migrate at.
Awesome, man. Well, guys, that's another episode. I know we went a little longer, but this conversation just flowed like butter, man. I wanted to thank you for being on our show, and thank you guys for rocking out with us and listen to us to the end. Listen, guys, if you get value from this, and I know you're going to be sharing this episode with so many people because this was a gem dropper. Please like, subscribe, give us a review, tell us what you thought, and share this with as many people that you know that can use this help. And again, reach out if you can. we love to have you guys on Champ Talk. Or we love to excuse me. We're grateful to have you guys listening to Champ Talk, guys. And until another episode, what are you doing today to become a champion?